5 games with the injury, the quad, keeping Caitlin Clark on the sidelines. But Trevor, she was back today for...
Larry Bird offers Caitlin Clark her own team. After the Marina Mabrey fight, Caitlin Clark sat at that podium, still riding the high of a game that had the arena rocking and commentators literally speechless. She handled the usual questions like a pro breaking down her game plan, praising her teammates, and owning her electric performance. But just when it felt like the session was over, one reporter dropped a comment so wild it instantly killed the vibe. It wasn't even a question. It was a straight-up bombshell. The entire room froze. Clark's face said it, all shock, disbelief, maybe even anger. What was said? Why did it shut her down like that? This is Caitlin Clark we're talking about. Not just another rookie, but a force flipping women's basketball. Upside down, with skills that slice through defenders like butter, a fearless edge, and undeniable star power. She's turned the game into must-see TV. From her Iowa days dominating college hoops to the fierce grind on Indiana's courts, have rallied behind her like never before. Packed arenas, record-breaking ratings, in Clark's face everywhere you can't escape the hype. She's brought the sport to an entirely new level of energy and attention. But here's the wild twist. Despite everything she's done for the game, the WNBA hasn't exactly rolled out the red carpet. Instead of support, she's met with cold shoulders, harsh criticism, treatment that feels painfully personal. Rather than being welcomed, Caitlin Clark has faced resistance from all sides. Veteran players brush her off, flat out ignoring her like she doesn't belong, refusing to acknowledge her insane talent, and the REFS.
Sure will be a big first step for me, but it's just one step for the WNBA. Thanks to all the great players like Cheryl Swoops, Lisa Leslie, Cynthia Cooper, the great Dawn Staley, and my basket.
They're letting defenders rough her up with fouls that would get called on anyone else, acting like she's fair game for cheap shots. Even worse, the league's leadership is dead silent. No protection, no backup, nothing. It's like they'd rather look the other way than stand behind one of the brightest stars they've ever had. But through all this chaos, Clark just keeps shining. She's leading the league in stats with an insane level of poise, playing with the maturity and focus of a veteran far beyond her years. Her game does all the talking and it's speaking louder than any hate thrown her way. And now, one powerful voice has stepped in like nobody else. Larry Bird, the Indiana legend and NBA Hall of Famer, knows exactly what it's like to walk into a tough league, carry a franchise on your back, and face hate from every angle. Bird sees his own battles. In Clark's struggle-land, he's not just watching, he's all in. He's blasting players like Marina Mabrey for their cheap shots and foul play. And he's calling out WNBA leadership, directly accusing them of caring more about gatekeeping and protecting old hierarchies than nurturing new talent and growing the game. To Larry Bird, Caitlin Clark isn't just a rookie. She's a walking revolution. She's the face of change, the spark of progress, and proof that real greatness always comes with the toughest battles. She's out here dominating on the court, inspiring off at hand. The world's eyes are glued to her every move, and so is Bird. Ready to stand for everything she represents, Larry Bird's fiery defense of Caitlin Clark has ripped the lid off the WNBA's ugly side, proving legends don't just play the game, they change it forever. And now he's plotting something bigger than anyone expected, a new basketball empire built around Clark herself. It's shaking up the entire future of the sport.
This is wild. WNBA All-Star Weekend. It's supposed to be the star of all stars. All the big dogs is out. Asia Wilson, Sabrina Ionescu, Brianna Stewart, everybody's out. The big dogs are out. You got the rookie, you got Angel Reese, Miss Me Too. All of the stars are here. And look at this news. The get-in price for the WNBA All-Star Game in Indianapolis has dropped 48% from $121 to just $64 after news broke that Caitlin Clark won't be playing. Uh-oh, spaghetti.
This isn't Larry just being annoyed. He's ready to go to war. It's been watching every cheap shot, every shove, every elbow thrown at Clark while league officials act blind. And to him, that's more than just missed calls. It's professional. Negligence. Straight disrespect. Bird doesn't want meetings or watered down. We'll look into it, promises. He wants action, and he wants it now. Sources say his vision is huge. A powerhouse team built entirely around Caitlin. Or even a brand new league where skill, vision, and pure toughness rule, without the politics, jealousy, and ego that keep holding women's basketball back. And honestly, it's hard to argue with him. Every time Caitlin Clark hits the court, TV ratings explode. When she's out, they tank hard. She's not just a top scorer, she's the heartbeat of women's basketball. It's the face of the entire sport, its biggest star, and the most valuable player alive. But Larry Bird sees something even deeper. He sees the future of basketball itself, not just the women's game. And if the WNBA can't or won't protect her and push her into the global spotlight where she belongs, Bird's ready to step in and do it himself. This isn't about soft words of support. He's coming out swinging. He's calling out referees, exposing shady league policies, putting the unfairness on blast for the world to see. He's digging into game footage, breaking down dirty plays and forcing conversations to the league. Can't ignore any longer. But Bird isn't stopping there. Sources say he's quietly laying the groundwork for something revolutionary, something that could flip the entire basketball world upside down forever. To Bird, Caitlin Clark isn't just a player to cheer from the sidelines. She's a franchise, a brand, a movement. And he's ready to step in, not just as a fan, but as a leader, coach, strategist, willing to build her an empire from the ground up. Bird's ready to grab the clipboard, lace up, and create a dynasty with Clark at the center of it all.
Story we have been following throughout the past 2 days surrounds the superstar herself, Caitlin Clark, the WNBA star, the Indiana Fever star, Caitlin Clark. She's going to miss all the action on the court.
Caitlin Clark isn't just putting points on the board. She's rewriting the future of the game. And Larry Bird is not letting anyone or anything get in her way. His frustration is turned into a bold, game-changing vision to shake up. basketball, on and off the court. But if the WNBA keeps ignoring Clark's rise and letting its toxic culture grow, it could lose the very star that's keeping them alive. This is their wake-up call. If the league doesn't act fast, they risk losing the one thing pulling in new fans, selling out arenas, and breaking TV records. Caitlin Clark, she's not just a player. She's a force of nature, a movement in sneakers, drawing massive crowds and bringing in a fresh, younger audience that never cared about women's hoops until she showed up. Clark is the spark lighting up every arena. It's making casual fans sit up and pay attention. Yet instead of protecting their biggest star and riding that wave, the league has allowed a toxic atmosphere to thrive. Physical cheap shots are tolerated like it's just part of the game. Players like Clark aren't respected. They're targeted and resented. And the worst part? The leadership, the ones who should have her back, are completely silent. After that shocking moment when Marina Mabrey blindsided Clark after the whistle, there should have been swift action, a clear message from the top. Instead, crickets. That silence says it all, and it's dangerous. Larry Bird's not having it. Back in his day, you took your hits, owned up, and kept it moving. You didn't run to social media crying for sympathy. But right now, the WNBA fumbling the chance to actually protect and celebrate its biggest star, fans are whispering something. Wild, will Caitlin Clark stay? Or will she take her talent somewhere else? Maybe Europe, where players are often treated better. Or maybe, just maybe, to a brand new league Larry Bird himself might create. Because here's the cold truth. If Caitlin Clark leaves, millions of fans leave with her.
We shall never know peace, at least when it comes to the WNBA space. It was this ad that Angel put out, and I don't know if this is part of a larger campaign where it's going to be similar themes in similar places, but because of where the WNBA All-Star Game is, and because of who plays on the Indiana Fever in the home city of the WNBA All-Star Game, it's going to raise some eyebrows.
She's changed the entire game single-handedly. And if Larry's there courtside, clipboard in hand, ready to lead her into this new chapter, nobody's going to be shocked right now. As the WNBA stalls, Larry Bird isn't just watching, he's plotting. And if they don't move fast, they could lose Caitlin Clark and the future of women's basketball in one brutal hit. As the WNBA fumbles, Larry Bird's warning grows louder. Ignore Caitlin Clark, and you risk the entire future of the league. If they keep failing to protect her, Bird's vision could take her and millions of fans down a whole new path. But wait, who exactly is Larry Bird? Let's break down the relentless legend himself. Larry Bird wasn't just good, he was a straight-up game changer. The man who became the face of the Boston Celtics in the 1980s didn't just play basketball, he transformed it. Bird had this insane ability to take struggling teams and turn them into championship squads, restoring the Celtics' glory and helping push BASKETBALL's popularity worldwide. Known for his deadly shooting and ridiculous basketball IQ, Bird snagged 3 NBA Most Valuable Player awards, led the Celtics to 10 Atlantic Division titles, and brought home 3 NBA championships in his 13-year career. Born December 7, 1956. In West Baden Springs, Indiana, Larry Joe Bird grew up in a working-class family, struggling to raise 6 kids. His parents eventually divorced under the pressure, but Bird's passion for hoops and relentless drive set him apart. He wasn't the most naturally gifted athlete, but his work ethic was pure fire, keeping him locked in the gym when everyone else was resting. By high school, Bird was already a local legend in Indiana, a state where basketball is religion.
WNBA's All-Star game went down 36%. That is a lot. That's more than a third from last year. Last year was over 3.4 million people, and it went down to 2.1. Now, you could say is a success. Yeah, for women's sport, that is still a lot of people. But at the same time, it really isn't a success, because think about it. It's the only sport playing. It's the only game that's going. And you only could draw that. So, and this is with all the stuff.
And after the Celtics suffered a crushing playoff loss in 1983, Bird made a vow. He'd work harder, shoot longer, and never let it happen again. That promise paid off big. It's just 1 year later, he took the Celtics to the 1984 NBA Finals for a legendary clash with his college rival, Magic Johnson, in a dramatic 7-game war. The Celtics took down the Los Angeles Lakers and reclaimed their championship crown. And when Larry Bird finally hung up his jersey, he didn't walk away from the game. He flipped to the front office and kept shaping basketball from the inside. By 1997, Bird took on a whole new challenge. Head coach of the Indiana Pacers. No coaching experience, no warm-up period. It's just straight results. In his first season, he shocked the league, leading the Pacers to a franchise-best 58-24 record, finishing right behind Michael Jordan's Chicago Bulls. That insane turnaround earned him NBA Coach of the Year in May 1998, making Bird only the 4th rookie coach ever to claim that honor. That feat was legendary, winning Rookie of the Year as a player and Coach of the Year as a coach, putting Bird in a rare class of greatness few will ever touch. Larry Bird's influence went way beyond his playing days. He wasn't just a baller. He was a builder, a leader, and a living symbol of relentless hard work and pure dedication. His mark on basketball is permanent. And now, meet the female version rising above all the noise. Caitlin Clark. She's not just playing basketball. She's rewriting it, smashing expectations, and redefining what a true star looks like in today's sports world. Rookies are supposed to quietly grind their way up the ladder, stay humble, and wait their turn. But Caitlin Clark, she's doing the opposite. Fearless, unapologetic, and changing the entire vibe of women's basketball, one game at a time. The moment she steps on that court, she owns the spotlight, soaking up the pressure instead of running from it. And Make no mistake, every single game, she's tested hard. She's elbowed, shoved, fouled, like it's open season, and booed by crowds like she's the villain in someone else's story.
It was just a good play on the basketball. I'm not sure what the refs saw to upgrade it, and that's up to their discretion after watching the initial whatever happened during the play and then whatever happened.
Opposing players treat her like she doesn't even belong. But here's the twist. She doesn't flinch. That hate, that disrespect, it only makes her stronger and hungrier to dominate. Every cheap shot, every rough foul just adds fuel to her fire, pushing her to play even harder. While plenty of athletes obsess over Instagram highlights or complain about minutes on the court, Caitlin keeps her focus locked where it matters, balling out at an elite level. She's running the offense, dishing out perfect passes, stacking points, and leading her team like a seasoned vet, all while packing arenas and crushing TV ratings, and she's doing it all at just 23 years old with a calm, ice-cold mentality most players never develop. Larry Bird, one of the most iconic legends in basketball, sees exactly what sets her apart. It's not just her skill, it's her toughness, it's her mindset, and that unstoppable will to win. Bird knows what it's like to battle veteran players and take hard hits. But even he admits his rise was quieter. Away from the kind of intense spotlight Caitlin faces every single night. Despite all that attention and pressure, Caitlin Clark never backs down. She doesn't even flinch. To Larry Bird, Caitlin isn't just another talented player. She's the future of women's basketball. She's living proof that the sport isn't just growing. It's on the edge of exploding into something bigger. Faster and more exciting than ever before. She's not here to play it safe or follow old rules. She's here to raise the bar and change how the game itself is played and viewed. Every time she gets knocked to the floor and pops back up stronger, she's doing more than winning games. She's winning fans, sparking debates, and shifting the entire culture of the league. And Larry Bird, he's not just clapping from the sidelines. He's invested emotionally, mentally, and even strategically. He's all in, because what Caitlin is fighting against isn't just physical fouls. It's an entire broken system deciding what women's basketball can and can't be. This is the crossroads. Will the league finally value pure skill and superstar power? Or will it let the petty drama and ugly hostility bury the talent that could take it global? Bird's answer is loud and clear. Caitlin Clark isn't the problem. She's the solution to him. Caitlin isn't just a player. She's the movement, the spark, the bright future basketball needs. Her resilience is actively reshaping the game, proving she's worth protecting. Protecting her means protecting the entire future of the sport. Larry Bird's stance is no soft pep talk. It's a direct challenge to the WNBA's leadership. To Bird, Caitlin Clark symbolizes everything the game could be: bold, fearless, and global. And he's daring the league to rise with her or risk losing it all. But with all that potential comes one big question. Will the WNBA embrace Caitlin Clark in everything she represents, or let outdated politics and unchecked aggression kill her shine? Larry Bird sees what others refuse to admit. While some league execs write Caitlin off as just a viral sensation who'll fade in a year or two, Bird knows better. He sees the bigger picture. Caitlin isn't a phase. She's the foundation. Protecting her and investing in her future isn't favoritism. It's securing the future of women's basketball itself. Bird's been through it all. The highs of winning culture and the lows of seeing raw talent wasted because nobody had their back. He knows exactly what happens when great players are protected and allowed to thrive, and what happens when they're left vulnerable to cheap shots, unfair criticism, and toxic hostility. This is bigger than one player's career. The league's entire identity is at stake. Fans don't come to watch pointless drama, on-court hostility, and endless cheap fouls. They come for brilliance, competition, and unforgettable moments. And Caitlin Clark, she is that brilliance, breaking viewership records and creating hype like women's basketball has never seen. But if the WNBA keeps failing to protect its brightest star, Fans will walk away, and they might not come back. Larry Bird isn't just sounding the alarm here. He's hinting at something way bigger, an entirely different vision for the future of the sport, with decades of building winning teams and shaping elite culture. Bird knows what it takes to create something sustainable. And if the WNBA doesn't evolve fast, he might just do it himself. Building a franchise around Caitlin Clark where respect, talent, and pure vision run the show, he might even go as far as building an entirely new league, one built on excellence and fairness. Instead of politics and resentment, Larry Bird's loyalty to Caitlin Clark isn't just admiration, it's pure foresight. He knows she's a once-in-a-generation talent who can inspire millions, not just on the court, but far beyond it. Caitlin plays smart, moves fast, and handles pressure like a seasoned vet. She's not just here to play the game, she's here to change it. And if the WNBA keeps heading down the wrong path, they risk losing the one player who could elevate the entire league. But Larry Bird, he's not about to let that happen. Whether it's a new team, a whole new league, or an entirely new movement, Bird's ready to lead that charge. Caitlin Clark doesn't just raise the bar, she is the bar. And if the league can't keep up, Larry Bird might just build something that will. What do you think about this bombshell possibility? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and share this video.